Hey, my fellow Game of Throners, welcome to another episode of Dropping Theories. I just wanted to come and make this quick episode 6 spoiler video for you folks, and because the episode dropped today, so I wanted to drop this really quickly and talk about what I just got done seeing. Man, I can't wait for Sunday to watch this whole thing live, HBO, with everyone else. Man, it is going to be awesome. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it.
Death is the enemy. The first enemy and the last. The enemy always wins. And we still need to fight him.
You're scared, aren't you? What are you scared of?
I'd like to make a couple quick shout outs to my special little bird Riri. Without you, I would not have been able to see this episode. And to my boy Dan over at Talking Thrones. Man, it's been fun going back and forth on this whole Ice Dragon thing. I can say when I'm wrong, man. We need to find something else we can go back and forth on. Let's get at it, man. Anyway, let's get into this episode. So, episode 6, man. Episode 6 is going to be primarily focused on Jon and company, where we left them going beyond the wall in search of a White Walker. Then we're going to also get scenes in Winterfell and Dragonstone, but I'd say a good 80% of the show, maybe even 90% of it, is Jon Snow and company trying to get that proof of that White Walker, or they're fighting White Walkers throughout the show. So, start of the episode with a conversation of Jon and Jorah, and Jon tries to give Longclaw back to Jorah, saying, hey, this belongs to you. Jorah's not having it. He's saying, no, I'm not worthy. This now, my father gave this to you, and now this is your sword. This belongs to you now, and you keep it in your family. Next, we get a shot at Winterfell, where Arya and Sansa are having an innocent enough conversation. Then Arya calls out Sansa on the letter she found in Littlefinger's room in the last episode, and that's that Raven scroll where Sansa asked Robb to come and surrender to Joffrey. Sansa says they forced her to do that, and she had to do what she had to do to survive. Next, we get some conversations with Tormund and the Hound and Jon and Beric. But the guys continue traveling north until they come across the arrowhead-shaped mountain that the Hound saw in the flames. Next, we go to Dragonstone, where Dany and Tyrion are having, some different discussions about love and such. Tyrion notices the way Jon looks at her with love in his eyes. Dany kind of blushes and brushes it off. And next they begin to argue. Then we go back to Team Jon and company. We see them, they're next in a blizzard, but they're attacked by a walker polar bear. Thoros is badly injured. They do kill the polar bear, but like I said, Thoros is gravely injured. And we go back to Sansa and Littlefinger in Winterfell. Sansa is concerned about who Arya is going to tell about that letter. And so Littlefinger is getting in Sansa's head, man. He's doing his thing. He says, hey, well, what about getting Brienne involved? And so Sansa's like, what, maybe I should. So we get Team Jon and company, and they spot a small group of whites walking, and they decide to set a trap. When the whites stop, when they see that trap Team John and company. They attack the whites. John goes after the head leader of the White Walker and kills him, and all the whites drop dead immediately except for one. So the team surround that walker and jump him and try to tie him up. That walker lets out a tremendous yell. I think it's almost like a signal to the rest of the army. They decide. John then says, "Hey, to Gendry, you need to go back to Eastwatch. Send a raven to Dany. While they wait, Thoros dies, and Jon says, "We've got to burn the body." Beric takes care of that with his flaming sword. Next we go back to Winterfell. Sansa receives an invite to King's Landing. She tells Brienne that she will go in her place because she feels it's a trap. And so Brienne is concerned as well for leaving Sansa there by herself. And Sansa says she's at home, so she yells at Brienne and says, sends her on her way. Next scene we get is, I'm assuming Dany, she received the raven asking for help, because we get her on her way out, and Tyrion trying to convince her to stay, and Dany's like, "Nope, I listened to you. I did nothing before. I'm going." And so she gets on the back of Drogon and bounces, and Rhaegal and Viserion follow. Next, we got Jon and company just waiting it out on the ice, and in the meantime, the lake is frozen over. The walkers attacked Jon and company because, like I said, the water's frozen back over, so they can gain access to the team. In this battle, the team is losing bad, so they retreat. But with nowhere left to go, the team is surrounded, and in the nick of time, Dany swoops in and saves the day. The dragons clear a path big enough for Drogon to land, so that the team, along with the walker that they've captured, can climb upon Drogon, because he big enough to get up on everybody up in there now. And with this Viserion and Rhaegal giving them air support, and Jon also staying back to help fight off walkers while everybody is loading up on Drogon. That kind of pisses off the Night King. He throws an ice spear at Viserion and hits him dead in the neck. Man, that's a hard thing to watch, man. Action, Jon makes eye contact with the Night King, and he notices that the Night King grabs another spear. Jon tells Dany to go. He starts running back towards Drogon. He gets tackled and disappears under the ice. Dany thinks that he's gone, takes off on Drogon, dodges another ice spear that the Night King throws, and they're gone. And Jon ends up climbing out of the ice, and he's about to take on all the walkers, and he's standing face to face, about to take it on, and out of nowhere comes Uncle Benjen, saves the day, saves him. We get a quick hello, goodbye, puts him on the horse, sends him on his way. And then as John's looking back, he sees Uncle Benjen get overtaken by the rest of the walkers. So that was pretty sad, but we get one last look of Uncle Benjen. Next we get a look at the rest of the team back at Eastwatch. The Hound loads up the walker, says his goodbyes to Tormund and Beric. Danny's waiting for somebody. I'm assuming that's John. Jorah says it's time to go, and Danny says, just a second, a little more time. Then as they're about to leave, John approaches. He's brought inside. Danny sees the scars. Next we go back to Winterfell. Sansa's poking around in Arya's room. She finds Arya's faces. Scene to happen, but no boat sex. But John does essentially say, he's gonna bend the knee, but he, physically he can't. So, and then we get our final scene. We get a scene with the Night King. He's ordered his team. Now this kind of is confusing because I don't know how they wrap chains around Viserion underneath the water because, well, they can't get in there and function underneath the water, and where they got these big old chains from, I don't know. But anyway, they pull Viserion out. Night King comes up to him and awakens him. His eye opens blue and it goes off. So that's the episode, folks. That is everything, pretty much from beginning to end, just wrapped up in a nice little bow. It's a great episode. I fairly enjoyed it. Lots of action. It was great. I think everybody that's going to watch is going to enjoy it tremendous amounts. I know I did. I didn't find anything bad about this episode. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. If you guys have anything that you would like me to discuss. Oh, I do want to remind you that I do still have that San Diego Comic-Con swag giveaway going, so help me get there, help me give that away. I want you to win this, so I'm gonna keep it going until it's gone. So remember, 1,000 subscribers, and that's when the giveaway will happen. So thank you for joining me for another wonderful episode of Dropping Theories, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.